Gotta make sure. Welcome to the show that talks about Tulsa. People making a difference in the Tulsa community. Special guest interviews, spotlighting local businesses to covering important issues within the community no one else is talking about. The hot topics and more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Whirlwind Developments. News you can use. Hosted by Mr. Charles Harper and Mr. Molly Wilson. Today is a special edition. Black in America. Welcome to the show. Hey guys.
Hello everyone and welcome to Whirlwind Development's News You Can Use. We want to thank everyone for either listening on the radio, watching us on Facebook Live, and on www.kbob899.com or tuning into any of the News You Can Use media networks which are powered by Whirlwind Development. We really appreciate that. I am your hostess with the mostest, Mr. Molly Wilson.
And I'm Charles Harper. It's Wednesday, a.k.a. Hump Day, March 15th, 2023. And we are live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. right here on Kbob 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use media networks, powered by Whirlwind Development. We are set for an exciting show, you guys. You better call your mom and them and tell them. You can call in at 918-856-3873 or post your comments on our Facebook Live feed at Whirlwind Development.
So on today's show, the good, the bad, and the ugly of being Black in America. Let's talk about it. We're going to have some special guests on the radio show today. Live in studio, it's going to be our District 1 City Councilwoman, Vanessa Hall Harper, Tiffany Crutcher.
Yep. Also on the show, what Black people have done to build America, and what would this country look like if African Americans packed up their bags and went back to Africa?
Out of here. And of course, our Hump Day hot topics, which are the oldest living Tulsa race massacre survivor makes history again. Find out how. Oklahoma House of Representatives passed a bill barring citizen-controlled police review. Let's talk about that a little bit. And a 2020 study about Black babies. Find out the shocking results. Birthdays and more.
This is News You Can Use right here on Kbob 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use media networks. Powered by Whirlwind Development. Y'all better get ready, y'all. We got a hot show. We'll be right back. You're listening to a special edition of News You Can Use. Black in America. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the event center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
The Juice Radio Show and KBOB 89.9 would like to say thank you to all of our listeners and sponsors who donate to help keep our media program alive, reaching the community. The Juice Radio Network continues to expand as influencers in the community of North Tulsa and beyond, but can't do that without your help. That's why it's important that we as a community continue to support the Juice Radio Show and keep 89.9 on the air. The community not only deserves this service, but needs this service. Let's continue to support the mission and giving a voice to the voiceless and donate to the Juice Radio Radio Show. The Juice Radio Show is a nonprofit 501c3 powered by KBOB 89.9 and Eden Media Services, operating solely off the gifts, donations, and contributions made by listeners like yourself. All donations made to the Juice Radio Show are tax deductible and can be sent to 1216 North Lansing Avenue, Suite D, Tulsa, Oklahoma 74106.
It's Tulsa, I see you here in Tulsa. I'm in Tulsa, Jimmy.
We appreciate your continued support and thanks for listening to KBOB 89.9 FM.
This is news you can use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development.
And we are back. So News You Can Use is all about shedding some light on the positive happenings in our community. There are many great businesses, programs, and events occurring in our neighborhood, and we felt the community needed to hear about those things, one, so we can support, and two, so we can be informed.
How y'all doing out there? I'm Charles Harper, Chief Executive Officer of World One Development, which includes fitting back in EduRec Youth and Family Fun Center, 36th Street North Event Center, and Oklahoma Community Support Coalition. My job is to provide leadership for all aspects of World One Development with an emphasis on long-term goals, growth, profits, and a return on those investments. And I am so excited and I am so elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
And I'm Damali Wilson, Chief Operating Officer for World One Development. And my job is designing and implementing business operations, also establishing policies that promote company culture and vision. I'm also in charge of social media for all of the World One Development entities. If you would like to advertise your business or organization on this show or any of our other individual platforms, please inbox me your contact information on Facebook Messenger so we can talk. I am also happy and elated to be one of the creators of this show.
Damali,
What's cracking?
how art thou doing today?
You know what? I am tired of this weather. I can tell you.
Man, yeah, it's a little bipolar, right?
Very bipolar. I'm like, dude, what's happening here?
I know in Oklahoma, Tulsa, it was a little disrespectful because it waited until spring break
Exactly. What is that all about?
to be the most bipolar ever. But it's a pretty good day today, so I won't complain. It was no rain coming in to the
Right,
news
that's
station.
true,
You know what I mean? KBOB, man. People are having a good time today. It actually feels pretty good.
Not that bad. It's
Not that bad. People
today.
don't know. You see, I got on a t-shirt. Damali got on a hoodie.
Mhm.
You don't really know what to do with the weather. Just
You
depends.
don't, right?
I'm all hot. Are you cold natured?
I am cold natured.
I see, I'm all hot natured. So
Yeah.
you know, the t-shirt. Yeah, if it's 50, I'm good.
You okay?
Right there.
Yeah, no, not me. Give me my hoodie.
It give you a hoodie.
Yeah, always.
I seen a dude. He was riding and he let his drop top go back, and then his hat flew off and his shade. He said, "Oh man, wasn't quite." Then
Let it right back up.
Yeah, he pulled over and he hit it.
Because
It was
yesterday
coming
was
back.
really windy. Yesterday.
I know that
Yeah.
wind is disrespectful.
Today, too, in a high for about 60 today. That's what they're looking for.
That's why my ponytail. You know,
Yeah,
for y'all on the
everywhere.
live, my ponytail is all over the place.
Yeah, if you want to
Yes,
shoot your first
disrespectful.
video, you know people want to do their video. Today is that day that you can hit that video. I tell y'all
Yes.
what, we got a loaded show today that we are very excited about, man. I tell you what, man, the secret listeners
Of
are
course,
all
the
lined
topic.
up.
Yeah.
We probably got a good 1,000 or 2 secret listeners all around the world, but we love y'all. We appreciate y'all, and we thank y'all for tuning in.
That's
We
right.
got a loaded
As
show.
always.
So let me do this real quick. I would like to thank and appreciate our first responders, our healthcare professionals, our food providers, and essential workers for their service on the front line. It's great how organizations and churches in the community continue to come together to support us during this coronavirus epidemic, Damali, that seems like it just never wants to let us go.
I know, right? But you know, I mean, it's getting better.
It's
I would
getting a
say
little
it's
better.
getting better. You hear a little less of, you know, folks coming down with COVID, and you know, so I think we're on the right track. But
Let me tell you what I can do. If I have to do something, I can do COVID.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do monkeypox because no, I feel like if you get monkeypox,
You are not
it's-
gonna let these monkeypox go.
I'm telling. I feel like if you get the monkeypox, it's gonna be with you
I
forever.
thought it was the same thing.
No,
it's
the
not.
same thing.
You, Dr. Perdue said no.
Anything
He
with
debunked
monkey,
the myth.
when the monkey come into it, that's where you level
You
up.
just have something against monkeys.
Man, did you see them bumps on the people's face?
Did you see the monkey scratch the lady yesterday
I
on the
didn't-
news?
I didn't see
No.
that.
Attacked her
No.
right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh wow.
Somebody's pet monkey got loose and scratched the lady.
Who had a
Almost
pet
took
monkey?
her ear off.
Oh my God.
Got to be careful.
What
with
did
those
what did
wild
she do to the
animals.
monkey?
She got him off of her, and they called in IMSA, and
Yeah,
the
she.
police had put the monkey down.
Oh.
Yeah, They had to put the monkey down.
Aw.
Let me do some quick shout outs, man, before we get in here, man. So all our thousands of secret listeners, we appreciate y'all for streaming in with us all over the world.
Yes.
Teresa Elliott, my sister.
Hey, older
your
sister.
sister's in the building. Alicia Walker's joining in with us.
Hey.
Your mom, my
Hey, mommy.
mom, she's in the building. My cousin is in here, Brenda.
Hey, Brenda. What's
Jackie-
up, cousin?
Jackie Washington, thank you for helping us to get that
Hey,
little
sister.
feedback out of our live feed. Also, Brian Dorton,
Hey, Uncle Brian.
uncle's in the building. Jeremiah Blackwell tuning in from Mississippi.
My sister Teresa said the monkey ripped her ear off.
Oh,
No,
God.
pretty much.
Oh,
Almost.
Wow,
Maybe
that's
said
sad.
It was not good.
That is pretty bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty bad indeed.
Janetta Maxwell is in the building.
Hey.
Anthony's in the building.
Hey, Anthony.
All kind of people in the building, y'all. I didn't forget about nobody. I will come back. My cousin Courtney is here as well.
Hey,
We're gonna
hey.
come back, but we got to kind of get this show rolling because we loaded with a lot of information. We got to get to y'all today. So, Molly,
Yes, Uncle Brian said a family member put the monkey down. Good Lord.
man,
And
that's crazy.
in addition to that, a zebra attacked the hunter.
I saw that. Attacked them. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
had to put the zebra
They
down
put
too.
the zebra down too.
I mean,
All in the
these
same
animals-
day.
These animals are going crazy.
They wild and they on that COVID monkeypox.
Man, I don't know, man. These animals might be joining gangs now, man. We got to stop the violence.
What's going
Stop the
on?
animal violence and cruelty.
All right, so before we get started, we want to send out prayers to the family and friends of African rapper Costa Titch. His government name, that's what I want to say. His government name is Constantinos Sabagalu. He was 28 and he died during the Ultra South Africa Music Festival. He was actually on stage in Johannesburg
Wow.
and just just collapsed.
Oh wow.
I'm like, oh my gosh. So there's video circling out on social media where they actually show the whole incident,
Wow.
So prayers to that family, prayers to the fans, and and the friends of Costa Stitch. That is just
Can you
it's hit-
imagine? There's probably like 100,000 people
Hey,
out
my
there
point,
at
yeah.
a festival in Africa. They're huge.
yeah.
And the thing
So that's
about it,
crazy.
he's only 28 years
28
young.
years old. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Gotta be
young to go.
devastating.
So
Yes, absolutely.
they didn't really say the cause. I haven't seen the
no,
cause
I haven't
yet.
seen the cause either.
But I'll just say prayers for that family.
Mhm.
Prayers for the people that had to deal with that. That's traumatizing.
It is.
Somebody
You
just
at
collapsed
a concert.
and passed away.
You just don't expect that, know.
Man.
Also want to send out prayers to the family, friends, and fans of American actor Robert Blake. He used to be on one of my favorite shows was Beretta.
Yeah.
Do y'all
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that back in the day?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's back
And
in
so
the
he was
day.
on that. He was in Money Train.
Yeah.
But anyway, he passed at the age of 89.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, he's.
I
outta
tell
here.
you what, if I get 89 miles out of this old body, I won't be too
Hey,
bad.
you
You know what I
all
mean? You
right.
done got your 3
You-
scores plus 10 plus
Yes.
a few more years, but it's still never a good time to go.
Exactly.
It's never a good time to
Exactly.
go.
It
So
never
prayers
is.
for the family.
And then we also want to send prayers out to our friends over in Africa, our family over in Africa, I should say. They have been affected by Tropical Storm Freddie.
Oh
He
my
is
God.
over there wreaking havoc. Do you hear
Wow.
me? Wreaking havoc over there. So far, 100 people have died in Mozambique and Malawi. In South Africa, there's flooding and landslides, and it's just terrible over there.
Yeah.
So, we want to send out prayers, for our African family over there.
Yeah. Prayers going out. And I don't know what's going on. You see out there in California, they're getting 12, 15
Yeah,
inches
I
of
saw
snow.
that too.
Some
Snow
they
and
were
rain.
saying it never rains in Southern California. I'm like, no, because it's snowing. I mean, we don't know.
Right.
Tornadoes coming during the winter. I mean,
It's crazy.
I want to apologize right now live on air to Mother Nature.
Right.
Whatever they
Whatever.
did,
We're
I didn't do it.
sorry. We're
Mother
sorry.
Nature, I'm with you.
Yes.
It's getting
Man,
ugly.
It's getting
bad,
it's getting
man.
crazy.
Y'all be careful out there. Watch the weather. You got to watch the news now. You can't just get in your car and travel
No.
because
No,
you
no,
got to
no,
figure
no.
out what's going on.
And
Yeah.
on top of that, they talking about eliminating the time zones in the spring forward and the fall back, and everybody just be in one time zone.
What?
Did y'all hear about that?
I think I like it.
I have not heard about
When you
that. But I know
travel-
when I was in Africa, I asked them if they had that, and they were like, "What? No."
They don't even
It's like
know
no.
Yeah, America apparently has control of
Yeah.
of the time zone
of
thing.
how the time zones are set
Yeah.
in the United States.
Well, I guess in a way you have to do it because when you in Africa, it's daytime, it's nighttime over here. So you can't be like, oh, it's 8 in the morning. No, it's not. It's dark.
Right.
It is 8 p.m. So
Yeah.
you gotta.
Yeah.
I don't know how you
Regulate
do that.
somehow,
So
but
I'm gonna leave
yeah.
that to the smart people to
Yeah.
figure that out. How you not have
Right.
the time zone.
All right, Uganda news. We
Hey.
want you guys to keep on donating. We're still receiving donations for our fundraising campaign to help scholarship some kiddos into school. So that's always a blessing. Remember, you can absolutely cash app us at $World One Development
Right.
Yeah.
for $250. We can actually send a student to school for the entire school year. That's going to give them their books.
Now, wait a minute. Did you say for $250?
For the school year.
Two crispy $100 bills and a $50 bill. Like
Right.
about what we might spend to go out to eat with
Correct.
the family is
Right.
enough to scholarship a kid for the entire school year.
For the entire school
So that
year.
means everybody can get involved.
That's
you ain't
right.
got to be no multimillionaire and billionaire.
And check this out. Their school system is broken up into 3 parts. So it's basically like, $50 a session. So if you can only afford $50, then
Then
do
you
that.
still happy.
I
love it.
But do what you can, do your part, and we want to be, a blessing to those individuals over there in Africa, over in Uganda. So you can actually, cash app your funds over to $World One Development, or you can be the recipient of one of those golden tickets to the African
You
Experience
better be ready
on
for that.
April 1st.
Oh, it is going down.
Yes.
Y'all don't even know. They already climbing in the rafters and putting up lights, and they went and got some dirt. See, I told them when we was over in Africa, the Molly kept coming up missing. I looked over there, I seen the Molly riding a zebra. She was getting, I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Seen over there, she playing with a monkey, and I said, I know she putting something together. So when she said African Experience, JB,
Yeah.
I knew something was coming. Then she gonna get back and say, the Lord showed me African Experience. I said, no, when we was in Uganda, I saw you
You was
filming.
already playing
The
it.
experience was already going.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful to come together because the Molly thing, I always say, when you left away, everybody was kind of looking like, man, you guys are leaving after 7 days. And I remember you looked at those kids and all of them and said, you know what, I got y'all.
Mhm.
And the thing about our community that knows locally or wherever we go, when Damali Wilson says she got you,
She got you.
she got you.
I
So
got
we
you.
got y'all. So y'all continue. For everybody that's been already giving, we've already scholarshiped about 20,
Mhm.
and we'll continue to update. And we'll do newsletters and all of that. So love for Uganda.
All right. Check this out. Resolution check-in. I just love
Oh,
doing
my
this. This
God.
cracks me up. I just love it. Okay. Resolution check-in.
Right.
JB, what's up? Where you at?
You know what? Today I'm starting a new diet because I'm trying to be ready for the beach in June.
Okay.
We're going back to Miami, baby.
Okay.
So it's
So
going to
you
be a
getting your
special,
beach body.
special birthday trip.
Okay.
I made it every 5 years. I'm going to Miami at least.
I'm not mad
every
at
5
you.
years.
I'm not
going
mad at you.
on
That's my favorite
on a
place to go.
birthday vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll be 45 this year. So we going
So
back.
no pork chops this week.
No,
Tough.
Nope.
pork chops. No fried foods for the next 2 months.
Okay. Let's see if that works out for you.
Let's
Okay.
get along.
Yeah, yesterday we had sandwiches. Good turkey. I've been on turkey.
Yeah.
Turkey
So
and
that
sweet,
was
so.
good. We had good sandwiches.
I'm trying to Jared thing, but it's working, but it's kind of not working. You know what I'm saying? I don't really get it.
It kind of is, but it kind of ain't.
Damali, how you doing? Are you still on your?
So look, check this out. I miss belly dance class. I'm so mad. Miss belly
I
dance
think it's
class.
a different
Oh
motivation
my
for that
God.
altogether
Yeah.
anyway.
It's just I had a lot going on with spring break camp starting, and it was just a lot
You know
happening
what?
on Monday, and I just
Give
couldn't
you
get
a
it together.
pass. The spring break camp, that's enough energy that you burn in that.
Yeah.
That'll easily make up
Yeah.
for a class.
And then of course I've been helping do decor for the glow party that we're having tonight, and so it's just been a lot going on. However, I did though remember the other part of my resolution was that I was going to spend more time with family.
Right.
So my niece, that was another reason why I couldn't go to belly dance class. My niece had her 18th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Miss Taylor Elliott.
Happy
So
birthday.
I
Y'all
went to
love
her
Taylor.
birthday dinner at Nola's and celebrated with her. So yeah, spending
Absolutely.
family time.
That's it.
What
Here's
about
the
you?
Molly's theme song.
Hey, yeah.
You gotta only play that when she make it to class. You can't play that when you don't make it to class. You know what?
Akon classic belly dance.
For y'all that don't know why we doing the resolution check-in is because typically within the first 2 months, most people that start their New Year's resolution fall
Fell
off.
25%.
25% go, then a month later, 45%. So we
Yeah.
trying to be an inspiration
And a
to me.
motivation.
I can tell you, look, I'm this let you know I'm doing all right because I'm down to 205.
Okay.
And I was at about 218. So,
Yes.
so that's good.
Good job. Good
And
job.
all I want to tell people, look, if you can just get a little more sleep
Mhm.
and if you can drink a little more water, if you can't do nothing else, get a little more sleep, drink a little more water. I had a grandbaby, so of course,
Yes.
family is up. I've been
Congratulations.
spending that time. Yeah, little
Uh-oh.
Yes.
my Yana is
Some
here.
applause for
I'm
our-
smiling now.
Yes.
I'm sticking to it. So
Papa
Okay.
Cha.
Yes.
let me do some more quick shout outs before we go and get to it. We got Victor Grimes is on with us.
Hey,
We
Victor,
got
how are you?
Gresha P. Lewis tuning in from Alabama.
Hey,
He's-
Magnificent Seven, partner.
Yeah, we got Xavier. We call him the man with the master can. We call him Sneaky Blue. I don't want to say it off the airway, but it's too late now. I've already
you
said it.
already said it.
Tuning in from Dumas, Arkansas. Raquel Moore is in the building with
Hey,
us.
hey, hey.
Paulus is in the building with us. Birthright Legacy is in here.
Okay.
Ernestine Broom fitting back in.
Yes.
Royalty is here with us, and many, many more.
Listen, Jeremiah said they call wild animals wild for a reason.
Shoot, the Wild Wild West. I stay away from them.
Keep them going. Yes, and then also, what Uncle Brian said, cocaine monkey. It was a cocaine monkey.
Right, that is something. Okay, so we got to figure out what's going on. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Hey, guess who just joined us? None other than royalty Miss Christy Williams is in the building. Damali.
Yeah,
we got to do this one more thing before we get right into it. We got to get into the Black History Trivia. Let's get this out here right quick, right now.
Okay, Black History Trivia.
Let's get this going.
Christy, I'm glad you on because you always know the answers. All right, here we go. Okay, I like that. Hey, yeah, okay. All right, Black History Trivia. What civilization is used as proof that Africans were in the Americas long before Christopher Columbus? Okay, I'm gonna hit you with the question one more time. What civilization is used as proof that Africans were in the Americas long before Christopher Columbus? Was it A, the Olmecs? Was it B, the Mayans? Was it C, the Incas? Or was it D, the Aztecs?
Man, it didn't hit my spirit right. Say it one more time for me. I'm sorry. Play the music too, JB, because I got to get this right. For my ancestors, I got to get it. I guess I better get ready too, because they need it too. Read it one more time.
He don't want to be wrong on this one.
Well, yeah. Okay. What civilization is used as proof of that Africans were in the Americas long before Christopher Columbus? Was it A, the Olmecs, B, the Mayans, C, the Incas, or D, the Aztecs?
JB, what you got?
You know what? I was thinking Incas or Olmecs because I know the Mayans was they Europeans?
Hey, you just got to give an answer. We ain't doing an analogy of it. What's your answer? That's what we looking for.
I'm going to go with...
Come on, JB.
I'm going to go with whatever Charles go with.
Charles, what you got?
You know what? I feel bad. Man, I was between D and A.
Mm-hmm.
A was my first mind. So I'm either going to make it all the way. I'm going down in flames. So
history wasn't my favorite subject.
I'm going with that.
This one was deep.
Yeah, this was deep.
Jeremiah Blackwell said, hey, so hey, I feel better already because he was a historian. So I just looked. Christy said the Mayans.
Birthright said Moors.
Jackie,
I'm going with Christy. I'm going with Christy.
Okay.
You going with Christy?
Yeah, she said the Mayans.
Okay.
Man, you see how JD is, man.
Yeah.
I know.
He is not a friend.
Jackie said C. All right, so we're going to find out at the end of the show. We're going to find out who's right and who's wrong. All right, so today we're super excited.
Let's take a quick break. Can we take a quick break, JB Smooth? Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a quick break because we got special guests live in studio as we get into these deep topics. Y'all going to have to put on your seatbelt, go get your pen and your pad, grab the kids, bring everybody to the table.
We at Grandma's house. Finest.
KBOB 89.9
yes,
FM.
And another
it's getting ready to go down. Both our guests are here.
Yes.
So y'all hang on. When we come back, we got the City Council and Dr. Tiffany Crutcher. They live in studio.
Yes.
We'll be right back, y'all.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the Event Center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Networks, powered by World One Development, and we are back.
So today we have the awesome pleasure of sharing the mic and this time with our guest and with our special guest. We have none other than District 1 City Councilwoman Vanessa Hall Harper in the building. And we also have Dr. Tiffany Crutcher from the Terrence Crutcher Foundation right here in the building. My two sisters from another mother. Love y'all. So we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about a lot of good stuff.
Let's do this real quick. I don't know what January and February went in 2023.
Man,
it's like
that part.
it's already March.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Crutcher, we'll start with you. How have you been doing? I haven't seen you but once this year.
Wow,
How you been?
Well, first of all, it's always good to be here with my brother, my sister, my brother, and of course my other sister on the News You Can Use. But I'm still trying to close out 2022.
Man,
I have not closed out 2022, and 2023 came in blazing.
Right.
And so I'm exhausted. How are the resolutions going? I don't make resolutions.
Right.
Because I break them every single year.
Right.
So she's in that first 25% that just fall off.
I fall off. So I just decided I'm not going to make, and I'm going to do the best I can. So one of the things that I have started to do is drink more water.
Hey,
Good
there
job.
you go.
So I'm really proud of myself.
Mhm.
I got the water tracker, and it says, okay, at this time, you should be here, by 6 o'clock, you should be done with this big gallon. And so haven't made it.
Yeah.
but I'm getting there.
You
The
trying.
fact that I'm being consistent, because I love wine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like to drink wine.
They don't have a wine tracker.
They don't.
They probably do.
We just
Well, we just want to say, Dr. Crutcher, thank you for taking out some time to
Yes.
hang out with us, and we appreciate it because we're going to dive into a lot of stuff. Switching over to District 1 City Councilwoman Vanessa Hall Harper. She came in here on 2 wheels.
okay.
The whole
right.
parking lot is dusty. We're trying to settle the dust storm down.
Stop.
City Councilwoman, how have you
I was
been?
going about 80 down Lansing. I'm well. I'm blessed. Yes. Busy, of course. We're always busy, but
Yes.
certainly blessed and
Yes.
looking forward to a productive year.
Yes,
Man,
absolutely.
that's good. Tamala, I know we're going to get to it. And I thought about this. I was thinking 7 years ago, I didn't know Dr. Crutcher or Vanessa just
Correct.
7 years ago.
Mhm.
And just imagine what has transpired in 7 years,
Yeah.
collectively and individually. It's just, you
Right.
can't even really even process how
Mhm.
much has just been done in this little circle,
Mhm.
just the last 7 years. It's
Right.
amazing.
Mhm.
So
Right.
thanks so much for that. I ain't want to put y'all on your mind. Don't think about it because too much.
right.
I just want to kind of
it's
say
too
that.
much. Yeah.
Yes, a lot's been going on, and so for those of you, and I'm just going to do this shameless plug really quick, especially because Christy is listening. Black History Saturdays.
Yes.
District 1 City Councilwoman Vanessa Hall Harper has been teaching those classes for the adults. Listen, I got to sit in last class, and oh my God, just the information. Councilwoman, tell what are your thoughts about that? Before we jump off into our topic.
I just think it is so very important. I think, and others have said it, so I'm just repeating what our ancestors have said. But I mean, we clearly don't know and can't see where we're going without knowing our history.
That's
I think it's so important that we know and understand that historically in this country, that was ripped from us, that was raped from us, that was genocided from us, and so we have to take it upon ourselves to share the truth,
Right.
because if we let the colonizers, if we let quote unquote America tell us where we come from, then we will always be nothing.
Yes.
And so when we can find this information out on our own, I think it's incumbent upon us to share it.
Yeah.
Because I think that it really sets the stage of where we're going, what we're capable of doing and being.
That's right.
The reality is civilization as we know it started in Africa. And I know I was never told that.
Right.
Right, growing up
Absolutely.
in a public school system, in an American school system, if I heard any semblance of it, it was of someone that was knowledgeable, that was woke, quote unquote woke, and who was Black. But you won't hear that from the power structure in any way, shape, or form. And so when we can, we need to. And I think it's so imperative. And so I'm thankful for Christy for having the vision of doing that, going out seeking funding.
Yes.
Had to do it outside of this community. That's no
Yes.
surprise. And so we're making it happen. And this is the start. And I pray that this is something that continues into perpetuity.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
big shout out. And if you don't know, then that's the first Saturday every month from 9 to 2. I'm motivated about the history most, but I love the food too. I come into the food, shrimp and grits and all that's pretty good too.
Right, yeah.
When we did the ribbon cutting, all of the leaders that showed up,
Yeah.
Dr. Crutcher and Greg and all them. So it was great. Damali,
Yes.
we got some loaded we talking about today. Black in America.
Yes.
The
so,
good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes.
What do you think when you hear that?
Well, so the first thing that it puts me back in mind too is, that Charles and I just recently went to Africa.
Right.
And so I got the opportunity to sit down with a group of 5 or 6 young ladies. They were ages 15 to 24. And one of the questions that I asked them was, what is your biggest dream? Right. And each and every one of them said to come to America.
Man.
But the way it was just the way that they said it. And so I was like, why? Because I'm like, I'm from America. I know the challenges that we face as a people. So why do you think it would be so awesome for you to leave your country to come to America? And one of the things that they told me was, and the primary thing was because they thought that we had opportunity. And I was like, well, okay, yeah, I can get with that. But, so I shared with them, well, every country has its challenges. So don't be deceived. It's not like you're going to walk, get off a plane, scoop up some gold, go get a piece of land, and boom, you're living happily ever after. That's not how it goes in America. But we wanted to share and just talk about, and actually Charles and I have been talking about this for a while, but then this just kind of hit him in his spirit last week. And he was like, let's just do it. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we want to talk about, first of all, what are some of the great opportunities or the good opportunities that we have? We're going to get to the other ones. We know, we know where that's going to go. But so I think that one of the things for me, and I'll just go with me first, is the thing that the young lady said is about opportunity. There is a lot of opportunity here if you take advantage of it. But I'll punt this over to Dr. Crutcher. What would you say is something good about being Black in America?
Wow. I'm ready to get to the bad.
That's why I started with that first.
Yeah. Well, I'll say the ideal of America, the ideas of America. There's this Constitution and this Bill of Rights that says every American has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so I love that idea. I love that idea. And, with my father being a Vietnam veteran who fought for this country so that we could walk around free. That's sort of what I flow in, that sort of hope and that vision and that dream. And so, quite frankly, I want to be honest and transparent just based on what I've seen. I don't know if we're there yet. I don't want to jump to the bad and the ugly, but I love the ideas of America right now. And so, but I do love the fact that we embrace our culture, hip hop, country cooking, soul food, whatever. I mean, I love Black people. Right. Black people are so beautiful. When I look at the Oscars and the Academy Awards and the Griot Awards and the Grammys and see the culture come out and the beauty and the purples and the reds and the hairdos and the music. I mean, Black people are beautiful. They're brilliant. And that's why you have so much cultural appropriation. So again, as a Black person, I love the fact that we can be free. Are we really free? I'll wait until we get to the bad and the ugly. So I'm gonna have to kick this over to my sister.
Okay, so before you go, I want to say Pastor Kaperi is on from Uganda. And so, Pastor Kaperi, this is really for, I want you to share this show with as many of your people as you can, because this is something that I was talking to your sisters about when we were actually in Uganda. And so now you're going to get the perspective from a couple of our community leaders here and activists here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, about life as a Black person in America. So same question to you, Councilwoman. What's the good?
I first of all, I agree with everything Dr. Crutcher just said. But for me, I will say it's the good is tied to us. I don't look for good
Mhm.
from the status quo, from the power structure, from this country, from government. To her point, yeah, the Constitution is really just a piece of literature.
Mhm.
It's a piece of art.
Mhm.
It is supposed to be, and it is held as one of the most beautiful pieces of writings, one of in the world. But is there truth behind it? And that's I'm sure we'll talk about that here in a little when we talk about the bad. So I will say when I teach federal government, and when we get to chapter 2, which is on the Constitution, I give all of my students a pocket Constitution.
Right.
And I start my lectures off. I hold it up and I say this was a lie when it was written,
Mhm.
and it's a lie today.
Mhm.
And so we're talking about what something says versus what it actually the impact that it truly has. And so I will say again, when I think of the good of being Black in this country, I think again that is tied to us, of what our potential is if we come together,
Mhm.
if we share the same principles and values and ideals, if we implement plans that is going to benefit us, because no one is going to take care of us
Right.
better than we taking care of ourselves.
That part.
And so we have to
Right.
build a structure, a community, a base in order to do that. It's hard when you have people that look like us, but their mindset is such that white is right. And we can't be successful outside of the approval of the power structure,
Right.
which is white America.
Right.
And so that's a struggle. But again, my hope and what I love, the beauty of it, and the beauty of our people and what we can accomplish, because we've proven time and time again that we can.
That part.
It's not that we don't have it within us, or the potential, or the drive, or the know-how to do it. It's that the power structure is constantly against that. That's in America. That's in Africa. Right. That's anywhere you go when it comes to Black people. And I think it stems back to the fact that the world knows that, again, the cradle of civilization as we know it as human beings starts with Black people.
Right.
And so we're hated because of it. And so everything we can do and potentially do is going to be targeted for destruction because of that. But my hope is that we overcome that and do what we got to do as a people.
Yes.
Now my good gonna be a lot more simpler and easy and quicker than that.
What's your good?
That was great. You know, my good is when I think about when I was younger. When I think about good, Black in America, I think about, like, more, to be honest, like when I'm in kindergarten and stuff, and you don't see a lot of that stuff going on. Black, white, green, and yellow. You play together, you have fun together, and all that stuff.
Right.
When I think about fun, I think about my grandparents that I can hang out with, and my cousins, and hanging out in reunions and stuff. I'm just saying, Black in America, the time when I felt like, man, this is good. You know, because if you go back to elementary school, a lot of this stuff that we're gonna get into, you didn't think about none of that.
Right.
Unless you really had a historian in your family. But normally when you're young, you're having a good time.
Right.
So I'll wait to the bad and the ugly, because as you get older, that good feeling that I can go back to, my best friends when I was, you never seen color in kindergarten. You eat a donut together, you play together, you do all that stuff. You're just having a good time in America. And I will say, you know, if you're just looking for a big house up on the hill and a nice car and some of that stuff, then America's also good too. Being Black in America, you can achieve some of those things. But that'd be my initial thought, because I know we got to go a little.
You know, as you guys were talking about that, it just puts me in the mindset of, my mom lived. She was born in Greenwood, lived in Greenwood, and my mom will tell the story. She's told us this story time and time again about how they never had to go outside of the neighborhood for anything. They knew everybody, everything they needed. They were self-sufficient and did not need the approval or the support of anybody outside of those 40 blocks. That's all they needed. And so they were happy. My mom was like, hey, that was the life, that was Wakanda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so now, like you say, when you grow up and things change and situations happen and stuff, now what is your perception? Because that was their utopia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then now just to have that erased. So let's hit on the bad.
Okay, let's read us some stats, because I know you got some.
Well, so, and a couple of stats I want to hold on until a little bit later, and I may talk about it like the second part of this, because I just really want to get everybody's opinions, and then we'll kind of put some context to it a little bit later. Okay.
Gotcha.
So for me, I think the bad is there's always a fight and always a struggle.
Right.
Everything that we do, there is a fight.
there is a struggle. Like, if I want to become a legal assistant, which I did there was a fight and there's a struggle. I got to fight against everybody else in the office that, and they're just trying to sabotage. Not necessarily they want to do my job.
We're going to have to take a quick break. We have to take a quick break.
Okay.
And come back, pay a couple bills. I don't know what JB doing. He's saying take a break and talk.
Keep talking.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
And I think we got to do this in smaller bit-sized pieces because time is going. So we got to probably kind of just hit this because if we tell a bunch of stories, it's going to be 5 o'clock.
Yeah. But
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But to that point though, it's always a fight, always a struggle. The opportunities just don't come. So Dr. Crutcher.
Yeah, well, I'll just start with the quote by James Baldwin: "To be Black in America and to be relatively conscious is to be in a state of rage all the time."
Man,
as a Black person in America. And, we have to reflect back on history, and this narrative of racial difference. Supposedly Christopher Columbus came over and discovered America. And, the story that I was taught in history was that the Indians and Pilgrims and the white folks, they had a Thanksgiving dinner and it was all good. But the truth of the matter is that they came and said that these folks they were not civil. They were beasts. They were savages. They were monsters. Right. And we had to come and get some order in this country. And that's what happened. And, as we think about slavery and the outgrowths and the tentacles of slavery and the tenets of slavery, as we talked about the Constitution, one part is you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Right. But then another part of this Constitution, we weren't fully human, and so now when we try to evolve, when we try to grow, when we try to soar, this bias, this implicit bias that sort of cemented in this sort of superior culture's mind is like, hey, how dare you become the president?
Right.
How dare you be the first this or the first that? How dare you own property?
Right.
How dare you have a thriving community and one of the most prosperous economic enterprises in the grim days of Jim Crow? How dare you?
Right.
And because that's not supposed to be, that's not the blueprint that they actually designed, then we have to fight when we do. When there's a Black city councilor trying to build up her community, she has to fight. When there's a state representative on the House floor fighting for the liberation and justice of Black people, she has to fight. Just yesterday, there was a bill passed to sort of preempt progress around our fight for office of the independent monitor.
That's one of our hot topics.
That's a good spot. We got to take a quick break. Just hold it because I know we're going deeper. Y'all, it's getting hot in the spot. Y'all get your water, get your Kool-Aid, get your orange juice. It's getting hot in here. We're going to take a quick break. World One Development News and News right here on Kbob 89.9 FM. We'll be right back live, y'all.
Terrence was not the aggressor. Betty Shelby was the aggressor. Betty Shelby had the gun. Betty Shelby was following him with his hands up. Betty Shelby murdered my brother. And after she murdered my brother, all of the officers involved with the Tulsa Police Department tried to cover for her. What I got out of this case is that a cover-up was exposed.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the Event Center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Networks, powered by World One Development. Damali,
Yes.
let me get some of these live listeners in. They're going to be like, Charles forgot all about me. And I don't want nobody looking for me on the streets. I'm trying to stay safe right here, y'all.
Okay.
My cousin, Miss Hall, she's in the building. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
Thomas
hey.
Boxley is in the building with
Hey,
us. Welcome
Thomas.
to the show, Thomas. Thank you for tuning in. Teresa said, Miss Vanessa, that is good stuff. Christian,
She one of her students, so she's
one
trying
of
to
her
get an
students.
A.
I already see what's going on. I already
My
see what's
sister,
going
Teresa.
on. Yep. And quick shout out, Christian said, make sure y'all go like the page, Black History Saturdays. Each one teach one. Pastor Caperi, thanks for tuning in with it. Robert Cece is in the building.
Hey.
Brian Dorian said, America is an ideal that has to be fought for 24/7 because if we don't continue to fight, we will lose that our forefathers fought and died for the last 500 plus years.
That's another student in Vanessa's class.
Yeah, Raquel Moore said, preach, Dr. Crutcher, preach. I'm giving her a towel right now. Jackie Washington said, I think part of the good is having the ability to choose. You have a choice. Xavier says, thanks for the shout out and the love for today's show. You already know that, Brad. Mr. Sides on the building with us. Dominique Young is in the building with us. Hilda Sanders just tuned in. I know thousands. We're going to get back to you, I promise, but we got to get back to the show. Damali,
Yes.
let's give them some stats.
So listen, one of the stats that I pulled was that in 2020, there were about 41.6 million Black folks in America.
Okay.
And that's 2020, which is about 13.6% of the U.S. population. And out of that, 8.892 million people are living, Black people, let me preface, Black folks are living below the poverty line.
Okay.
8.892 million people. 2021, 17.4% of Black families are living below the poverty line. And prisons, and from December 2022, 1.6 million inmates in the U.S. and 38% of those are African American. What does that say about this country when you have 1.6 million inmates and 38% of those are African American?
Come on, City Councilwoman.
It's the American way.
Mm.
That's how this country was designed
Mm-hmm.
from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they quoted when slavery became unpopular, right? Then we had to figure out another way to enslave.
Right.
And so they used the prison system.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's always going to be a struggle in this country for Black people.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to continue to fight, and we're going to fight for our rights, and we're going to fight for it and all that. But at the end of the day, people ask me oftentimes, when are we going to have to not have to fight anymore? And I tell them never.
Right.
It's something you have to pass on to your heirs, to your children, to your grandchildren. That's not going to change here.
Right.
Because that is the very bloodline of America.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's always, if we can overcome something, there's going to be something else, because it's designed to put in a place to say, oh, well, look how much progress we're making. But there's always another plan that's behind us. And if we're not looking for it,
Right.
then it's going to catch us slipping. And that's oftentimes what happens. And then it's going to be something else that, oh, well, now this is the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And what America does and is excellent at doing is they'll put these injustices into law. Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
They make it legal.
Mhm.
And then you have to fight to overturn that.
Right.
And so it's always going to be the fight. And as I've said, and I continue to say, it's the American way. It's the Oklahoma way. It's the Tulsa way. It's wherever you go. And some cities are worse than others.
Right.
There are better opportunities and better places and where Black people are more successful than others. That's not by design.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, that's by happenstance. That's because the power structures, the people that make the decisions, the people that make the ordinances, the people that make the state statutes, they are putting policies together. Dr. Crutcher just spoke of legislation that did it actually pass the House? And so now it's going on to the Senate
right.
to make it more difficult for cabs to an oversight for policing. And so again, it's a constant fight. And as soon as we get any progress made, then they just gonna create a law that says, well, we're gonna put these restrictions in place to make it hard. So you're talking about a constant battle and a constant fight. And in my opinion, until we come together as a community and create our own,
Right.
then we're going to always be in a system where we're just constantly fighting.
Dr.
Yeah.
Crutcher, when we think
I
about,
just want to just add
Go
to
ahead.
that to that question. It's really about preserving economic status.
Right.
You know, that's what slavery was about.
economics,
It's about economics. Everything is about economics
Right.
at the end of the day. And you know, we talk about American values, we talk about Oklahoma values, but your values are based off of where you invest and put money.
right?
And so when we look at the prison industrial complex, you know, it's all about money. It's all about profits. It's
Right.
not about humans. It's not about people first. You know, slavery was about economics. And so
Right.
when we think about, you know, houselessness and homelessness, it's about money. You know what I mean? And so we have to always understand that it's about preserving economic status, even with the recreational marijuana. Why didn't that pass?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why didn't that pass?
Right.
People gonna be getting out of prison.
Yeah.
That's one
we
part
gotta
of
keep,
it.
and we got to keep
Keep
those
the same
beds
thing.
full.
Yeah, you got to keep them full.
Because
You pass that,
somebody
you gotta
is
let
making
somebody
money
go.
Right.
off of prisons being full, and so just wanted to add to that.
Right.
Real quick, I'm gonna add Raquel Moore. I'm trying to make sure our live listeners stay tuned in with us. We appreciate y'all so much. Raquel Moore said it's Damali, based on what you said on those stats, it says Damali that we are still in slavery. That's her
That
thought.
part, yeah.
Sandra Hall said it is a fight of our life. Gets better, never. It's just never enough. Welcome to the show, Mr. Dodson.
Hey.
And Christy said budgets are moral documents. Dr. Crutcher,
Yeah.
you know, you are a figure like on the front line when you think about social justice. I think these figures go right into what you do. When people look at you, I feel like people feel like we have hope because of the work that Dr. Crutcher is doing. You at the White House, you over here, you in spaces and places that people are just not privy to. But when you read something like this, I mean, how do you process that, being in your kind of position?
Well, I'll just say I'm just a little black girl from North Tulsa
As we all are.
who went to school, got a good job, tried to realize the American dream,
Yeah.
got a degree, 3 degrees, and was living in Montgomery, Alabama, in healthcare. Had my own clinical practice, and never in a million years would I have thought that I would be back home. And Vanessa would always say, "You need to come back home. You need to." I'm like, I'm never coming back here, and I'm here. But I never would have thought, you know. And I always say that the work that we do on the front lines, fighting for racial equity and social justice, it's not some abstract calling. It's not something I woke up and said I want to do. It was birthed out of necessity.
Yes.
You know, so there's a difference when somebody says, I'm passionate about this. This was birthed out of necessity and the fact that my brother's blood was spilled on the streets of North Tulsa. And so I don't think about, you know, when people say this or that, but I just want to read this text that I got from actually a young man that I'm so impressed with, Tyrance Billingsley. He sent me this, I think it was yesterday, and it was random. He said, "Thank you so much for everything you do, Dr. Crutcher. It's scary to think about how different our community would be if you never came back.
Hey.
How you were brought back, there is an entire community who has motivation and hope because you are here. I love you." And these are the types of messages that keep me going, that makes me want to get up and fight another day for this community, because we do. All of us, we go to bed and we wake up with the weight of this community on our shoulders. Christy always says, we want to go watch Golden Girls. We want to go to the beach.
Yeah.
We want to go cook for a man. That's what we want to do. But we need more people to stand up and rise up and say, hey, you know, we're going to draw a line in the sand and we're going to do this for our community, because there's only 2 things you can do. You can either lie or tell the truth. You can either think or do. You can either love or hate. You can either stand on the right or the wrong side of history.
That's right.
I mean, so you have to pick a side every single day. And we've decided to draw a line in the sand and pick the side to liberate and free our community.
Yeah.
And that's what we do every single day. We wake up, we pick up the axe, and we swing. We swing.
Man.
We try to chop down the trees of systemic racism, of hate, of bigotry. And that's the only way we're going to get to a point where our kids don't have to fight. It is my goal, my ultimate dream, that we don't need a Terrence Crutcher Foundation.
That's right.
That we don't need all of these other organizations that's fighting. I want to shut it down so we can go from fighting to thriving. That is the generational vision that I have for Terrence Jr.
Yes.
Hey, we're gonna have to take a quick break, but before we go to break, y'all listen to this. What if I'm a dreamer? Are y'all a dreamer?
Yes.
What if we decided to pack up all our resources, our talents, our gifts, and all of that, and say, you know what? We're gonna head out to Africa. We're gonna go back over there. Some people haven't been to the motherland, but Damali went.
Yes.
That's why she got a ponytail now. Just playing. But anyway, y'all hang on. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna dream about it. If we went back, what would that potentially look like? Is that all right? All right, this news you can use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and Sonicast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. Back to Africa, y'all, when we come back.
The Juice Radio Show and KBOB 89.9 would like to say thank you to all of our listeners and sponsors who donate to help keep our media program alive, reaching the community. The Juice Radio Network continues to expand as influencers in the community of North Tulsa and beyond, but can't do that without your help. That's why it's important that we as a community continue to support the Juice Radio Show and keep 89.9 on the air. The community not only deserves this service, but needs this service. Let's continue to support the mission and giving a voice to the voiceless and donate to the Juice Radio Show. The Juice Radio Show is a nonprofit 501c3 powered by KBOB 89.9 and Eden Media Services, operating solely off the gifts, donations, and contributions made by listeners like yourself. All donations made to the Juice Radio Show are tax deductible and can be sent to 1216 North Lansing Avenue, Suite D, Tulsa, Oklahoma 74106.
It's Tulsa, Tulsa. I see you here in Tulsa. I'm in Tulsa, Jimmy.
We appreciate your continued support and thanks for listening to KBOB 89.9 FM.
I know a lot of times we have the tendency to blame the white man for everything that's going wrong, right? And that's the majority of African Americans in America feel. You know, you're not saying nothing that everybody don't feel. That don't necessarily mean it's true, but with the circumstances that surround us, that's why we believe that way, you know? So at the end of the day, it was like, if you are in a position in life where you feel like you don't own your own content, you don't own anything, and they should be investing in us, this is the opportunity now to be able to own that in which we're complaining about. Because in Africa, it's a clean slate. You can build that empire there. You can build that infrastructure there. It just, and you already got the information. You're already educated on how to do it, because we've done it here and made billions of dollars for corporations all day. Africa is the only place in the world where Black people can go and build Fortune 500 companies from scratch within 5 years.
Well,
man, that's deep right there, Damali. What you
that's
think?
deep. So that was R&B star Akon,
Right.
who actually is building a whole in Senegal. He's Senegalese.
Right.
I love saying that, Senegalese. I just like.
I can tell you've been practicing.
Yeah,
on it the way you
Senegalese.
said it.
So he gets on my nerves. But he is actually building Akon City.
Man.
And so, and so basically it is a community that he's putting together. It's a $6 billion smart city that he is putting together. And if you have not read about this, you need to actually look it up. I mean, like research. I saw the drawings and I'm like, man, it's like a Wakanda on steroids.
Right.
I mean, seriously nice, but I get the concept. The concept is, and after having gone to Africa myself and seeing what they lack, immediately I started thinking about what resources and what skills and what, gifts and talents I have that I could help support the villagers that I came in contact with in the community that I came in contact with. And so I get the concept. If everyone took all of their skills, just think about all of the knowledge that we have as a people that we've acquired being here in these United States. If we packed all of that up and took that to Africa and just decided, you know what? Because what one of our listeners said, it's just a decision.
So
Right.
really a decision needs to be made. Do I want to work with my brothers and sisters that look like me to create something bigger than me, so that the generations that come behind me don't have to go through what we've gone through? Like you said, you don't want to have a Terrence Crutcher Foundation. We don't need that.
We
If we
shouldn't
can,
need it.
where we shouldn't
But
need it. No, we need it now. But I'm saying we wouldn't need that in the future, if we do this right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add a couple things. I'm gonna pass this hot potato over. I'll say this one: a lot of people, just like me, when I first seen Go to Africa, I'm like, nope, because I just saw big bellies and flies and wild animals, and I'm like, I don't want
That's
to go
the
there.
narrative that's
That
being painted.
was my
Right.
perception on up until I was grown.
Sure.
So now going to Africa, my perception, it's totally different. I want to add this is, man, where in America do you really go where you actually feel welcome? The only reason why I'm saying that, because I've never felt welcomed until I went to Africa. You know what I mean? And then the last thing that I'll say is, when I see just one artist, instead of just using his skill just to do music and make a lot of money, but he got lights on for about 800 million people.
Yes.
In Africa, then I think that makes it, man, it just kind of blows your mind. So what I want to do is pass this over to our city councilwoman, dreaming about going to Africa, meaning you're going to have to be the District 1 city councilor over Uganda. You see what I'm saying? Regina Goodwin going to have to be the state representative in Uganda. Dr. Crutcher going to have to lead. She does everything. She probably bring the NFL team, she got, to Uganda. But artists, all of that stuff go there. What do you think about that when we say that?
I think it's a beautiful vision. And I think it's far-fetched, but is it possible? Yes, because I believe anything is possible. But Africa is not without its challenges as well.
That's right. Absolutely.
And so I'm going to try to have you listen to this video that I posted just last night. And this is a doctor, and he's a economist or whatever. But he did this video, and it's speaking specifically about Africa, but I just want to see if
Dr. Howard Nicholas explains why the Western world does everything in its power to ensure sub-Saharan Africa forever stays poor.
Sub-Saharan Africa has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries, and Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow Sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep Sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. This is what it's about. Because if Africa does do something different, I assure you, living standards of all those in Europe and North America and Asia is going to fall.
You're talking about some context for you.
I shared that.
Yeah.
Last night on Facebook and other videos to the point. And so again, Africa is not without its challenges. In fact, we got to start thinking of it on a global scale.
Yeah.
Right.
And that United States, Asia, China, all of these other continents, these other major powers are dependent on Africa staying where it is. And so just like in our communities, how we will have power structures, philanthropics and everyone else paying certain people that look like us to maintain a status quo.
Right.
But that happens at a global level.
Yeah.
And Africa is the victim of that. Okay, so all of the other countries would not be successful financially as they are, just thinking about tech,
Right.
cell phones, computers, all of this thing, all of the resources that enable us to even have these things that we're talking on right now comes from the continent of Africa. It's in the belly of Africa. It wouldn't exist. It doesn't exist anywhere else.
Right.
And so it is dependent upon the rest of the world to be successful economically, that Africa stay the way it is. And so to Akon's point, yes, there is potential and we can do things, but there are also, we have to realize, and I've heard this not from people that Nigerians and different ones that's from Africa, that love Africa, that will say the corruption is so bad in its leadership, in its governments.
That's right.
That they are making sure that this relationship is maintained. And so even if we were to do that, and I don't have a problem with it, we got to make sure there's going to be a fight. America and so many other countries, as soon as you get a dictator or a leader, a president, whatever title you want to give them, and they are about doing what we know we want to do as far as becoming a successful economic everything, they will assassinate him.
Wow.
That's the history. Look to all we have to do is look to the history. They kill them and then they put somebody in there
that they need.
We've done that. The United States of America, through the CIA and its other departments, have done that throughout this country forever. Right. And so whenever you get someone, they'll name him a socialist and they'll call him all these negative names and justify the person that they want to put in that position only because they're going to lead in such a way that maintains the status quo for the United States of America and other powerful countries. And so we have to understand that. Right. It's not a matter of just our goodwill and wanting to do this. Right? It's power structures. Yeah. It's about power. It's about money. And it's about control.
Right.
But let's do this because I know
the same thing though. Christy says for everything that we build, we have to consider how we will protect it.
Let's do this because I know our city councilwoman got to get out of here. She got another appointment. We appreciate her so much for coming in. But all your great works, the expungement expos, along with this fight, making everybody finally go to City Hall and sit in there and see what it's like. I hope we make you feel proud to sit at 200-300 deep, all outside, getting in the fights, not fight for real though.
No, we gotta be willing to scrape if necessary.
Yes.
Before you go,
right on the ice.
Hey, look, here's the ticket. I'll just say this because Dr. Crutcher, we handcuffed her leg under. She can't go. She got to play the whole show. But we're going to have to let you go. I didn't get to get you. But before we let you go, just tell the people whatever you want them to know about anything you got coming up, like the Beyond Apology, Expungement Expos. What you got cooking in the pot?
Okay, y'all need to do commercials on all that stuff and put that out there. But I'm just going to say, let's stay in this fight. Knowledge is power. Yes. Come and engage and find out whatever it is we're trying to do and figure out how you can get involved because we can't have the same 10, 15, 20 people doing all the work for the community. We as a community in District 1, we have to get off our asses and do what needs to be done to benefit everyone. Yes. And if we want to control development in our community, then we need to invest in it. Invest in the power group so that we can buy land and develop our community. Until we're doing that, we're always reactionary, and all we're going to do is complain about what somebody else is doing in our community for us as opposed to us doing it for ourselves.
Drop the mic and walk off.
And another thing, you look good in that hoodie. You see that she got on?
She got that merch on.
I didn't even think about this. Y'all probably thought I did that on purpose, but that was the top of the bed. I throw it on the hamper, and no, it's clean though.
All right, well, we love you.
All right, I love y'all.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. See you later. All right.
Right, well, we're going to switch this over to none other than Dr. Tiffany Crutcher. When you hear what Vanessa played, when you hear what Akon, and you think about Africa, man, how does that hit you?
Yeah, wow. Well, I've experienced it because I've been to Africa twice. So I've been to Nigeria, and everything that you all have said is spot on. Beautiful places in Nigeria. I've been to Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and they're all very different. You know, Lagos is like New York City on steroids, and Abuja is more sort of modern. It's the capital. And then, of course, Port Harcourt, that's where the pirates are, where they drill oil. It's a little bit more tribal. But I met kings and queens and beautiful people and the beads and they made me custom gowns and I loved Africa. But on the other hand, I saw little bitty kids up early in the morning trying to fend for themselves. Yes. Right. You know, selling phone cards and sweet potatoes and walking with, really trying to make it because there's no assistance. There's no government assistance. America, we are privileged more than we know. And so when we talk about, what it means to be, Black in America, at least when I left Africa, I realized that I was really privileged.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that appetite to want to do more and to want to give. And, but also I saw that there were a lot of Caucasian folks in Nigeria and a lot of Asian Chinese folks. and China owns a part of Africa now
Right.
because of the natural resources, because of the telecom, because of all that. And so, you know, and I learned that even Africans, they have an appetite. They want to become more European.
Right.
You know, they love the white man and things of that nature. And it was just really strange to me. And that was just a portion of it. But there's so much corruption. There's so much bureaucracy.
Right.
You're either thriving over there or you're selling sweet potatoes, and little 3-year-olds are outside trying to eat and fend for themselves.
Right.
And it really made me sad. And, you know, of course I wanted to leave empty.
Right.
You know, I left all of my Naira, all of my dollars over there, and just $50 for a month can feed a family of 4.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For weeks.
Right.
And I made sure that before I left, I fed about 50 families over there. And then I went back 6 months later because I had such a deep love for Africa.
Hey.
Even just landing
Yes.
on the motherland, I can't even describe the essence of landing and putting
Yes.
my feet
On the soil.
on where I come from.
Yes.
My native tongue, you know, where, you know, and so you know, I'm going to Ghana in October, you know, and hopefully I'll experience that. I was just with the survivors, 2 of the survivors a few weeks ago, who was granted Ghanaian citizenship.
I saw that.
That was one of their wishes, you know, and I don't know if they may outlive us all, but one of their bucket list wishes was, I want to go to Africa. And they went in the middle of a pandemic. And then they made history. For the first time on American soil, an African American was granted Ghanaian citizenship.
Yes.
And it was so surreal being in the Ghanaian embassy. You know, ambassadors and kings and queens, they came over to witness this history real time. And I believe that everybody deserves to know where they come from. Everybody deserves to be rooted in history. And we know that we're under attack here in America, where they're trying to actually suppress it and wash it away. And so it's going to be on us. The burden is on us. We got to take care of us, and we got to sit at our elders' feet and make sure that we preserve our stories and never let anybody take our stories away. So I'm thankful for Eddie Faye Gates, who was the gatekeeper of the survivor stories when they were afraid, but she made them comfortable, and she documented every single story. She is a true, in honor of Women's History Month, trailblazer and pioneer to preserve those stories that a lot of times we don't do. You know, we don't sit at our grandmother's feet. And we're going to have a lost generation here soon if we don't do what Christy Williams is doing and get these babies to learn about where they come from and to actually be able to tell their own stories so they can pass it down generation to generation to generation.
Absolutely. Do we have another clip?
Yeah, but can we add to the fact that for so long they didn't have just simple things like phone, electric, water, gas, and now they're starting to have the resources that everybody else has had for so long. So if you do get a chance to go with her, listen to what Akon has to say about it.
China took that same, mind state 25 years ago. China was no different from Africa 25 years ago. Go to China now. Look at Dubai, the Middle East. They just started 15 years ago and started building that same concept.
I'm kind of me just want to be 100%. I understand what you exactly mean. So you're saying that Africa right now. So how can Africa be the new China? How can we say that? So
Black people,
for all our black people, yes.
Go back to Africa.
Okay.
Whatever you're doing here, do it there. Whether it's real estate, entertainment, education,
sneaker company,
whatever,
clothing line,
whatever.
Start it there.
Do it there. Don't even start it. Do it there. It's going to grow out of there anyway. But Africa's big enough you won't ever have to need no other country anyway. Think about it. Everything you do is in America.
Hot in Africa.
No, you don't.
Well, it depends on you.
Africa's the second biggest continent in the world. Africa. It's over 1 billion people.
Who's the biggest continent?
Europe.
Who's the biggest continent?
Well, it's continent and country.
Asia is the biggest continent.
Asia, that's then China, Africa. Korea.
It's all them
Russia,
and India, all them put together though.
Right.
That makes Asia.
Right.
And it's not that much bigger than Africa. And Africa is the second biggest continent.
Wow.
With more natural resources as well.
With all the natural resources.
Right.
That's the difference. So we literally got a pot of gold and nobody even going for it.
Right.
Man, Dr. Crutcher, that's heavy. I'm glad that music came back in.
Yeah.
It's something that, like, our ancestors, our land is everything that we need. And so it's amazing what spiritual, however you want to look at, try to keep us from that.
Yeah.
I don't know if in our generation we'll get a chance to see what we can capitalize on what they left for us. Everything that we need, everything is there and been there and has never left.
Yeah.
You know, and like the guy said, I know he had a part where he said, man, the fear. Man, I want to take all them shots. I don't like to take the shots either, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, but I got this from Uganda, y'all. I took all them shots. I took all the malaria pills. I did what I had to do to get to the motherland.
Yeah.
And I pass it back to you, Damali. It's something about when you go there, it's like the Matrix, man. I got greeted by a Queen Rachel. Shout out to Queen Rachel. Yes. Man, she hit me with the Matrix. Boom. I started dancing on them, y'all. You know what I mean? I felt in my spirit a little tingle with.
Yes. Can we ask this?
And it's still with me.
If you had a chance to go and stay, would you go and stay?
I would.
Right now.
I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you where I am.
I would.
I'm at this because I'm about everything as a process. I'll say that because we do a lot here because there's a lot of us here.
You keep your citizenship over here.
I'm gonna add it. What I would like to the answer is yes, but I would like to build bridges like what we doing in Uganda. I feel like go to AfricanAncestry.com, figure out where you from, build a bridge there, start going back and forth so it be like a natural progression. Like you went over there for a week, then you went for a month, then you went for 6 months, and you just help. You see what I'm saying? And then I think you just naturally end up back where your people are so you can know your culture and what goes on and all that. And that may take 50, 100 years, but I think it would look totally different. That's just my take.
Do people really realize how much help is needed over there, Damali?
I don't think people
really
understand the gravity of what it is. And I think that it depends on where you go.
Right.
The narrative that you receive. You know what I'm saying?
That's correct.
So we actually were fortunate enough to actually go to Kamuli. Which was actually a small village, and it's undeveloped. They're mostly farming, and agriculture is what their primary source of revenue is. And I am so thankful that I went there first.
Right.
Versus going to like Ghana or Senegal or some more developed.
Yeah.
And actually, we landed in Kampala.
We went to what you call the bush.
Yeah.
That's what we stayed for 7 days.
Yeah,
None of the modern stuff.
Yeah.
No lights, no water most of the time.
Yeah.
And it was the real deal. And the thing, Damali, to your point, they were so happy we was there, and I couldn't figure out why. And about 7 days in, I'm like, well, what is it? And they said, we've been waiting forever, and nobody has never been to our village, ever. So for y'all, nobody has ever been. So for y'all to come and be black, you don't even know what that means to us because you here 9,000 miles away and you black and you prosperous, and it's just everything for them to see us for those days.
We even planned to do a live show from there, and I think it really snapped when you got there and figured out the data. You know how important it is for us to have our cell phones and to have access to our people when you want to have access to them, and to not be able to just make a call out instantly.
JB, you said about a phone. I'm sitting in a group, and this was the day before we left, and they were like, Charles, man, can we see your phone? I'm like, y'all all my brothers now. I gave them my phone. They looked at it, and it was like 5 of them for my brothers, and they was like, Charles, how much does this phone cost in America? And I said, this iPhone is like probably $1,200.
Yeah.
They all took off running. Man, they said, man, that's $1.5 million.
Wow.
You can have a land, house, and the
Off
first
a
thing
cell
that hit
phone,
me.
what we pay for cell phone.
Look, we went over there. We was called the Magnificent Seven. We just came up with that, y'all. But every one of us had a cell phone. We could have easily left them all of our cell phones and left about $10 million. That's how different it is.
Yeah.
There.
We need to get them some cell phones over there.
Yeah.
Oh, me and Damali about to ship. We about to ship some over there.
Ship some over there. Yeah.
So let me just tell you this. So I found this stat. This is from the Center of Law and Social Policy.
Okay.
And what it says is that Black labor has been foundational to the growth of America and our economy. Enslaved people built the country's earliest infrastructure and produced lucrative commodities such as cotton and tobacco. After emancipation, African American labor was crucial in industry, agriculture, and service. So this is what I'm saying when I say, and when we talk about the concept of, and what Akon is talking about when he says everything that you do right here in America, you just take it over there and do it there. We were the foundation. Get that. We built the infrastructure for this country.
Right.
Okay. So whatever for free. Right.
So whatever is lacking, then if we take it to Africa, then basically what City Councilwoman just played, if we build up Africa, then everything else falls.
Let's do this right here, because when Dr. Crutcher, she just said it for free. Just say something about this, doing that. Our ancestors, our people,
free.
America, what the people dream about, what people rave about. We the bright light on the big hill and all of that. We had to build that for free. What do you think about that when we had to do that for free?
Yeah, what I think about is this whole conversation around reparations.
Come on.
And you've heard this response to reparations for Black people in America, or for chattel slavery, or the continued harm, is that, hey, you'll hear a white person say, we didn't do it. The folks who did it, they're no longer living. Why should the people living today have to pay for something that happened 400 years ago, or that happened 100 years ago? And what they fail to realize is that they are being enriched off of what happened 400 years ago, off of what happened 100 years ago. And some people today, when you look at gentrification, when you look at all the development downtown, and who owns the land in Greenwood, people are being unjustly enriched off of what happened and what our ancestors built in Greenwood.
That's right.
And off of what our ancestors built through the eras of slavery and Jim Crow.
Right.
And so that is the thing that people need to realize. That's the light bulb that needs to come on. You are living the way you're living. The wealth gap is what it is because people like your ancestors and my ancestors put you in position to thrive and to prosper, and for your kids to prosper. And because of racial terror violence, because of jealousy, because of hate, because of racism, they robbed us of our generational wealth.
That's right.
We created everything in this country. When I think about the toilets too, when I think about the light bulb, when I think about the open heart surgery, it was the Black people that invented that.
Right.
And because we were property, they were able to get the patent and own it and create generational wealth for their families. And so, to be Black in America, that's the topic of this show.
Right.
Real quick, right before we go to break, Pastor Stephen Caperi, Dr. Crutch, I want to make sure you know who this gentleman is, man. He loving the show. And
hey, Pastor.
Over there, we helped them build a church, and they also have a place for youth. And when we was there, we impacted something like 35,000 people.
Wow.
This is a young guy in his 30s that's doing all this great work. He and his wife.
Great work.
But I love to try to encourage him. But I'm going to say what he said on here and then let you just give them some encouraging words with this little bridge. But he said, this is your country. We miss you. That's what Pastor Caperi just said on our live feed. This is your home. We miss you. What do you think about that? And then just tell Pastor Caperi something over there in Uganda.
I get emotional when I hear that, because it is home. And, everybody wants to come to America, but we want to go back home. I believe that life would be different for us if we stayed home. And so again, whenever I'm able to touch ground or put my feet on what I call sacred ground, I feel like I'm at home. I get this, I can't explain this numbness that I get knowing that I'm in the motherland, but I just want them to know that we're just grateful that they're, preserving and holding it down for the diaspora, because we're part of the African diaspora. And, we need for them to keep doing what they're doing and building the bridges so we can actually go back. Right now, there's a lot of programs where they're trying to actually funnel and get people to go back to Ghana, go back to Nigeria, go back to Uganda, so we can start to hopefully transition. I want to be like Mother Randall and Uncle Red. I want to go back home. And so I'm just grateful, because there has been this caste system created between Africans and African Americans.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Where I don't know who thinks they're better than the other or whatever, but our experiences are different. And it's by design, because we were uprooted. And right now they're dealing with the same villain and the same power structure that we're dealing with. But if we can all just come together and lock arms in unity, we can help each other out across continents, across the lines, and build that bridge that you talk about. And so I just want to encourage you all to just keep walking in hope and keep just doing what you do, because at the end of the day, God will get the glory out of all of it, in my brother's words. So
Yes.
thank you, and I love you.
Absolutely.
What we'll do with that, we'll take a quick break because we do have some Hump Day hot topics. Teresa, my sister, your sister, said, Dr. Crutcher, they still profit off us today. San Francisco is talking about giving reparations to its citizens. We're going to talk about it next. We're going to take a quick break. Come back with our Hump Day hot topics. This KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News.
Before we take that quick break, Charles, just real quick, I want to bounce off what Tyron said earlier about Tiffany. I don't think Tiffany sometimes gets the just due that she deserves. We all know that you lost your brother to being killed by the police, but I don't think, how do I put this? You get the support and the praise and the thanks that you need because you have done so much beyond your brother dying and fighting for so many other people across this country that lost their lives to either racial injustice, whatever the case may be. You're still fighting for reform. For those that want to follow what you do, how do they find your story? Or you went from being a doctor to coming back home to being an activist for Tulsa of all places.
Yeah, well, thank you for that acknowledgement. It means a lot because sometimes you don't know if people care.
I just want to personally say thank you, and I know the team thanks you.
Yeah, of course,
but I think more of Tulsa should appreciate more of what you do for the community, and I think maybe it's a disconnect there where they just don't know how to engage in what you got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're everywhere. So it's simple. Just it's like hokey pokey. Just jump in, get in where you fit in, because we have something for everybody, whether it's our youth, whether it's mothers, whether it's just people in the community. We're walking, we're canvassing neighborhoods, listening to people. We're trying to invest in our youth and create the next generation of leaders. We're dibbing and dabbing in economic development. And people said, hey, we got to own our own. And so the minute that Black folks own their own, then people are like, oh, how did they do that?
Exactly.
So the selective outrage is real. Like, do you want us to own and thrive?
Yes.
Or do you want us to stay scarce? And so it's sort of this,
tug of war.
This tug of war. I don't know where it comes from. It's a mindset, but again, I want my work to speak for me.
That's right.
When I leave this earth, and I want my story to read, you never gave up through the pain, through the trauma, through the fear. And I just want the work to speak for me. So TerrenceCrutcherFoundation.org. You can actually, join our constant contact list. You can actually pick where you want to get involved. I mean, there's a list of ways you can serve. And Martin Luther King said, you don't have to be great to serve, but you have to serve to be great.
Yes.
Right.
And so there's a way for everybody, and that's TERENCE CrutcherFoundation.org. So thank you so much. You can call our office, stop by. We're located in the Greenwood Cultural Center. We got some work for you to do.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Because every time, man, it's great work that she's doing. And I think everyone should take a moment. If you just drop her a line on social media and say, thank you, Tiffany, because not everybody's fighting for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Not everybody's fighting to change the future for our children. And you personally, I want to say personally, thank you for everything that you do.
So one of our listeners has posted a question. She says, I have a question based on what Dr. Crutcher just said. If we all did all of the structuring and the government took credit and they and their families are still benefiting from it, what will be the difference going forward in building in Africa? What's going to stop the government from doing the same, especially when everything is based on the world system?
Hey, what you do, you learn from the past. A lot of that stuff happened because it was unknown. You died if you read.
Mm-hmm.
We can read now. We got doctors now. We got city councils now. So I think the way you come in from an infrastructure, you coming in as a legal assistant. You coming in. So it's different when you're educated.
Right.
To me, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Shut off.
And I think that's a really, really great question because, again, it's corruption everywhere. There's bureaucracy everywhere. I mean, there's dictators everywhere.
Right.
But what I've learned, even just coming back home to Tulsa, I came back really trying to fight for justice and going to city council meetings, going to the state capitol, going to U.S. Congress. And I found out that I had to shift my thinking and understand that the power is within all of us. The power is within the people. And if we start to galvanize and build bases of people, we can actually put in office who we need in office.
Right.
Same thing in Africa. I mean, they have a democratic process where they vote on their president, and we got to make sure that we're putting the people in office that serves our best interests. And right now, you know, there's a lot of division because Black people, we're not a monolith. We're not at all. But the more people who come together, because I believe we have more in common than not, with the same morals, same values, we can make this happen.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. Come back to those Hump Day Hot Topics.
You're listening to Black in America right here on Whirlwind Development's News You Can Use with Charles and Damali on KBOB 89.9.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the all-new KBOB 89.9 FM, Black on Black Community Radio.
And now it's time for the Hump Day Hot Topics with Charles and Damali.
Hey, guess what day it is? Hump Day! Hump Day! It's Hump Day!
Hey, Mike. It's the Hump Day Hot Topics on News You Can Use.
Hey, we back about it real quick. The Real Black Wall Street Tour. Many people want to sit at the table, but few want to serve at the table. We build for ourselves. Thank you.
Good
the Real
point.
Black Wall Street
Good
Tour.
point. Yes. All right. Hump Day Hot Topics. And we're just going to hit one and move on because we are way over time. 108-year-old Tulsa Race Massacre survivor Viola Ford Fletcher makes history as the oldest woman to publish her memoir.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, the publication of Don't Let Them Bury My Story, the oldest living survivor of the Tulsa Race Massacre in her own words, by Viola Ford Fletcher, with her grandson, Ike Howard, on the 102nd anniversary of the event, is going to of the single worst incident of racial violence in history of the United States. She's going to share her journey as one of the last living survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921. So she's going to take us through a journey of being terrified at 7 years old, being awakened in the middle of the night and forced to flee her burning neighborhood home in Greenwood, to 107 years as a family matriarch, testifying before Congress 100 years later.
Beautiful. I saw that, man. When I saw that, it just knocked me down. I saw it on BET. As we wrap up with Dr. Crutcher, I'm going to pass the ball because I know she got to say something on that.
Yes. We are so excited for her, and we want to make sure that you guys know that this is going to drop May 30th. And it is going to be available for $29.99. It's a hardcover, which I'm excited about because, you know, some of them softcover books, you know, they fall apart. Hardcover going to stay with you for a minute.
Go ahead, Dr. Crutcher. I know we can let that pass because what you have done for the survivors is unprecedented. Well, you know, I didn't even know none of the survivors until you introduced me to them.
Well, you know, it doesn't happen alone. It's been the community. That's what's bittersweet.
Amen.
We have to take care of us, as Richard Baxter always says, but there's been so many people who's come along to support these queens and kings. I mean, they're royalty.
Right.
They are living American treasures. And I want to give a shout out to the grandchildren and the children who take care of these individuals, and they look good. And I'll never forget the moment. It was several of us, me, Nehemiah, Greg, Chief Amasan. We had the chance to travel with these individuals to testify before Congress. Man. And they are fighters. They are soldiers. And it's just not me. There's a community of angels,
Mm-hmm.
including you all. When we restored Mother Randall's home, you all were out there at the housewarming.
Yeah, that's
I
when Charles
remember.
got beat in
She beat me in
dominoes.
dominoes, Dr. Crutch. You set me up for that, and I still owe you. You know I couldn't deal with a century worth of knowledge on the domino table.
Yeah,
but it was all fun.
Yeah, and so I want to thank everybody, Representative Goodwin, and
Yes.
and just everybody who continues to pour into our living legends. And so thank you all so much. And I'm just grateful for you all to read her story. Ike Howard, he's done a great job. Her grandson really putting this together. And so I knew it was coming, and I'm super proud.
Yes,
It's
yes.
here.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna hit the Black History trivia question.
Uh-oh.
Let's look at good, y'all. Uh-oh.
Dr.
uh-oh.
Crutch didn't get a chance to give an answer.
For what?
Okay, so I'm gonna read the question. We're gonna let you
I don't
see if
know.
you know the answer. Okay, so here's the question. What civilization is used as proof that Africans were in the Americas long before Christopher Columbus? Was it A, the Olmecs, B, the Mayans, C, the Incas, or D, the Aztecs?
Sound like a bunch of motorcycle riders.
Yeah, the Aztecs. for
I'm gonna
sure.
say the Aztecs. D.
Okay.
I was between the Aztecs and A, but I said A.
Yeah.
I went with Christy Mayans.
You went with Mayans?
Christy's pretty smart.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you the answer. The answer is A, the Olmecs.
Aztec.
Oh.
Yes. So,
Somebody give me something to drink.
yeah, because that means you 100. You're batting 100.
I'm batting 100. I'm like
Yes.
6 for 6.
Yes.
I'm feeling the ancestors are with style.
It was between A and D for me.
Yes. So I
I
won't
was
read.
gonna go with the Aztecs. That was, and I just said, but my first thought was, so I would go with your first mind. Right?
So Ivan Van Sertima,
Okay.
he actually came up with or has this whole theory, and I won't go into any of it, but what I will say is what they discovered was that there were some statues, just of the heads,
Right.
and the first statues that were discovered, he says, Dr. Sertima says that the features were bold and amazingly Negroid in character. Negroid, right? And then he also goes on to say that the phenotype of African Americans, they had full lips, they had broad noses, and in some cases beaded braids that were Ethiopian.
That's
at the
us
time,
right there.
right? And so those were the people that were actually doing the trading and everything back in the early 814 BCE.
How many years is that ago?
1814 BCE.
You gotta go with that. You gotta do
Yeah,
the rest
like
of the research
whatever
on your own.
that.
That's all
Yeah,
we can
figure
get.
that out. So anyway, they are the ones who are credited with saying, are making reference to the fact that there were Africans in the Americas long before Christopher Columbus ever came. So, you guys need to do your history. And that's why we do these Black History
Just to
trivia
kinda
questions.
just start it back up, get it
Right.
going. Hey, the real Black Wall Street tour, they got it right. They said, hey,
That's Chief. I know
That's
that's got to be Chief.
Chief knew that.
Chief
I was just
know all that.
asking because archaeologists just found an super ancient tomb in Egypt, and it's breaking news all today. So
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Chief, you should text me the answer.
Look out for your sister. Drop
Look
that
out
in
for
there.
your sister.
Right?
All right, we got these upcoming events. What we got? Y'all get your pen and pad out. This is what's going on in the city.
Okay, World One Development is looking for volunteers to help serve the community. If you would like to volunteer or need community service hours, you can give us a call at 918-380-1493, or you can email me at damali.wilson@world1development.com, or you can inbox us on Facebook Messenger at World One Development.
Derek Hamilton, welcome to the show.
Hey, brother, if you're looking to have an event, the 36th Street North Event Center has dates available. Feel free to give us a call at 918-200-9046 to reserve your spot. Fitting Back In is still taking registrations for justice-involved individuals, past or present, in Tulsa County for job training programs that will yield living wage jobs. You can contact Christy Williams at Christy, Kristi, .Williams at fittingbacktulsa.org, or you can call her at 918-592-3500 to sign up. We're here to help justice-involved citizens thrive.
Shout out to Christy. She's been rolling with us the whole show. Nothing but love.
Oasis Fresh Market is open 8 o'clock a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 8 o'clock a.m. until 8 o'clock p.m. on Sundays. Make sure you stop by for all of your grocery needs. Uganda Missions. If you would like to sponsor a child's education for one school year, consider making the donation to World One Development in the amount of $250. That takes care of breakfast, lunch, books, uniforms, and a broom for one student, plus the fees that it costs for us to send the money over and for them to get the money on their end. You can hit us up on Cash App at $ World One Development, WON, or at PayPal at donations@worldonedevelopment.com. Don't forget, Joyful Movement North Tulsa. They're still still having their 8-week challenge, which is currently taking place at the Jane A. Malone Center, which is Chamberlain Park. It is sponsored by Be Well Community Development Corp, Tulsa Parks, and the Tulsa Health Department. Juneteenth vision planning.
Come on.
Going to be having a meeting Thursday, March 23rd at 6:30 p.m. at the 36th Street North Event Center, located at 1125 East 36th Street North. The meeting is for volunteers and those interested in joining a committee. For information, go to tulsajuneteenth.org. Community Health Fair is happening March 25th from 9 o'clock a.m. until 12 o'clock p.m. at Langston University Tulsa campus.
Dr. Crutcher, this is your people, right?
Yeah,
there.
sponsored by the AKA sororities and the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, 9th District. For more information or to reserve a vendor booth, give them a call at 918-688-7441.
We'll have a couple of them on the show next week, so make sure you stay tuned in.
There's also on the same day a community career expo that's going to be happening from 9 o'clock a.m. until 12 o'clock noon at OSU Tulsa. So they hitting you on both ends.
Double up.
Right. So you can do health or jobs. At 700 North Greenwood, it's sponsored by Goodwill, Omega Psi Phi fraternity, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, 9th District. Black History Saturdays will take place on Saturday, April 1st at Edgerec Youth and Family Fun Center, 5424 North Madison Avenue. It runs through November. You can still sign up at bit.ly/Black History Saturdays. The adult class is full, but there are plenty of spaces for the babies.
Yeah, you can still stand in the back. No, I'm just playing. We'll get you a chair.
All right. The African Experience is happening April 1st at the 36th Street North Event Center. This is going to be a fundraiser for students in Kamuli, Uganda. It is by invitation only. If you would like to provide a donation to attend, please inbox me at World One Development Facebook page or Damali Wilson Facebook page. We also have Our Community, Our Health, which is going to be a new show that's going to be happening right here on KBOB 89.9 FM. Starts at 12 o'clock noon. I think Dr. Nicole Washington is going to be the first.
She's going to be the first guest, man. That's a tough sister right there, man. Imagine over 10 doctors coming together to help the community right here at KBOB. Big shout out to them.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Golden Egg Giveaway.
Not the golden egg. It's everywhere.
Gonna be happening April 8th at Oasis Fresh Market, 1725 North Peoria, from 12 o'clock p.m. until 3 o'clock p.m. Food giveaways, activities, food trucks, and of course, News You Can Use will be hosting the event. So you guys come on out. That's April 8th at 12 o'clock p.m. The Beyond Apology Kickoff is going to be happening April 11th at 5:30 p.m. at the 36th Street North Event Center, located at 1125 East 36th Street North. This is going to be a series of community conversations rooted in education on repairs and reparations in Tulsa. So you don't want to miss that.
Absolutely.
Dr. Crutcher, did you have a
We got to stop, Paul. This is your time. Whatever you want to hit them with, we got all these people are still on. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah.
Dr. Crutcher.
I have so much, and I'll come back and share and make sure that I share all of the things that we're going to be doing in the coming months. But I want to just highlight this event that's going to be held next Thursday, March 23rd at 6 o'clock p.m. at the Greenwood Cultural Center. I'm sure everyone has heard the buzz. We launched a campaign to try to get the president to designate the historic Greenwood Black Wall Street District as a national monument. It will be the first if it happens in Oklahoma history.
Yes.
And it should have been done long time ago.
That part.
And so this public meeting, this community meeting, we want for people to come out, get their questions answered. We'll talk about what a national monument is, how does it benefit the community, but you all please note that there is an attack on our history, on Black history in the state.
Yes.
Gentrification is running rampant in our community, and I'm just really excited. So many people who's come before us, they've tried to make this happen. The late Senator Maxine Horner,
Right.
Don Ross has worked on this. So many people. I don't want to start calling names,
Right.
but for the last 20 years, there's been roadblocks.
Right.
And I think right now we are at a place where we can get this across the finish line. And I always say that this journey to justice is a relay race.
Right.
And it's our turn to take the baton
Yes.
and bust through the red tape.
Yeah.
And so I'm truly excited. All of the Greenwood stakeholders, we've come together. We sent an initial letter to the president, Greenwood Rising, Greenwood Chamber of Commerce, Greenwood Cultural Center, John Hope Franklin, OSU Tulsa,
Yes.
Langston University, Mount Zion Baptist Church, Vernon AME Church, the Terrence Crutcher Foundation, the historic Greenwood Main Street,
Yes.
and so many more. And we've gotten about 300 descendants that signed on. We haven't sent any individual names yet. We're going to have an electronic signature or a website where you can go and sign your name.
Yes.
And those names will actually be added on to our support letter. And so if there's anybody out there who feels like their name was sent to the president, that's just not true. But that initial list of stakeholders, we launched the campaign and we are really excited. So come to this meeting next Thursday at the Greenwood Cultural Center. Get your questions answered. We're going to have all of the experts who we've been working with on ground.
Wow.
And I'm just truly, truly excited that we can do something for us, by us, to make sure that we preserve our story, a story of American tragedy
Come on.
that's rooted in community resilience.
Yes.
That is us.
Yes.
And so you all come out as a descendant. I'm doing this in my great grandmother's name. All descendants come
There you
out. We love our community. We're going to
Yes.
keep fighting.
And that time again is what time?
6
What time?
p.m. 6 p.m. at the Greenwood Cultural Center. Learn about what a national monument is. Learn about how it will benefit our community and what it looks like. And so we want to make sure that we get everybody, all of the facts out, and hopefully we'll get it done. We put in a lot of work in DC, making sure that people know about what we're trying to do, and it was just amazing. So super excited.
Let me tell you what I love about that, Damali, and I thought about it this morning. Is when I saw Dr. Crutchingham at the White House. One, I went and put on a suit and got in the mirror, and I was going to Photoshop myself in there. But then when I'm just playing, one, great job. Two, it made me think about this, Dr. Crutcher. We had an insurrection when people wanted to try to get what they wanted. They went and killed police officers, raided the White House, tried to hang the vice president, did all of that. You see what I'm saying? That people can sometime in America accept that. You went down there and your group as professionals, well-dressed, well-mannered, very professional to get something done. It just shows you the difference sometime in America, what we do and how we do it, and met with so much resistance doing it the right way when some can do it the wrong way. And just seem like people may applaud that. So
You would think something so
Kudos.
monumental would be a no-brainer, but still finds resistance.
That's why we had the show.
Yeah, and I think it's
To
just
talk
about
about it.
education and building awareness. I mean, because everybody has legitimate questions and legitimate concerns, and we hope that this meeting will answer questions. I know that I'm still learning, but I know that this should have been done, and it's an honor to continue to stand on the shoulders of the people who came before me to get some progress. A lot of times we come together to stop things.
Yes.
Right.
That's all we can do is stop something. It's time to build something
Come on.
and come together and do it. And one last thing, April 4th, we will have another historic trial down in Okmulgee, Justice for Creek Freedmen. Justice for Creek Freedmen. The Creek Freedmen were kicked out of the Creek Nation in 1979. And you all just, regaining that citizenship will mean reparations. It'll mean health care and resources and economic development and education, all of those things that's been stripped from us. And so we've been down there doing a lot of preliminary, court hearings, but the trial starts April 4th. We need for everybody to drive to Okmulgee. There's only so many people that can get in there, but man, there's power in numbers when you flood a courtroom, when you flood the lobbies, when you flood outdoors, so they will know that we need justice for Black Creeks and Creek Freedmen, more so. So I'm excited about the work that Demario Solomon Simmons is doing.
Yes,
historical work, and I'm just glad to be his Al Sharpton or his Sean King. You know, every lawyer needs an advocate, and so I'm grateful that we can help fuel that fight through organizing and through.
Yes.
Man, Damali, you know what she said the best, and I love the way it can honor, because if you ran track, you know about the race.
Yes,
and she
the
talked about
relay
them
race,
different
yeah.
legs, and when you think about first leg, honoring them second, third, and I'm hopeful this is that fourth leg.
Yes,
you know how it
yes,
go when you get that on
yes,
that fourth leg,
yes.
the crowd get up.
Yes,
That
yes.
means we got to bring this
We
thing
there.
home.
Yes.
We there.
Let's make it
Positive
happen.
energy only.
That's
Yes.
it.
Positive energy only.
Thank you,
Yes.
Damali.
One last thing, I want to just give a shout out to everybody and our staff that's working over at Edgerec Youth and Family Fun Center. If you have not seen the videos of these babies over there having a good time, Dr. Crutcher, your nephew's over there.
Little Terrence is
In
there.
there.
He
Yeah.
should be there. I hope he's there.
Yeah, he having a good
He saw the
time.
video and was like, I need to get there. So, so he will play and
Yes.
have fun. So we,
Yes.
he's a product of Edgerec.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
it's all family and it's all love. So go to Edgerec Tulsa
Uh-huh.
Facebook page. You can see that they're having a good time, just taking care of our community, taking
Yeah.
care of our kids.
That's what we do, looking out for our own.
Birthdays.
All right, so birthdays. March 16th, Victor Grimes, the fireman over there. Happy birthday. March 18th, my cousin Frank Wiley's having a birthday. March 19th, grandson gets a birthday. Emmanuel Douglas over at KIP. He was
Happy birthday.
Mr. KIP over there. Congratulations and happy birthday. March 20th, Joy McCondashi, who is a massacre descendant.
Yes.
She has a birthday. So happy birthday, Miss Joy. Don't forget, you can hit us up on any of our social media platforms. That's World One Development, Edgerec Youth and Family Fun Center, 36th Street North Event Center, or Fitting Back In.
Just like that. Hey, we got to get out of here. Any final thoughts, Dr. Crutcher? Thank you for coming in.
Thank you all for all you do. I'm just looking at the notes. How do you do this weekend and week out with everything that you all have going on? A spring break camp, the 36th Street North Event Center. I mean, you all are everywhere. And so I just want to give you all your flowers because this is a lot of work that you put in to make sure that our community is educated and aware of everything that's going on. And so I appreciate you all not really, just picking a side, but you just share good information. And so I love you all and man, let's keep doing this.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Thank you so much. Another quick shout out to our District 1 City Councilwoman that had to go, Vanessa Hall Harper, for adding all that good stuff. JB Smooth did his thing.
I want to give a shout out to Sharika Bowler, her family down in Muskogee County dropped charges on 2 of the shooters in her shooting, which happened last Memorial Day. Oh my God. Her family's really suffering from that issue. So I want to send prayers out to their family on all this. Everything's having to come back, court dates and dealing with stuff. And the judge really let those 4 guys out on a really cheap bond on a murder charge. So,
wow.
It's a whole debacle down there. Let's go get about that. But prayers out to the family of Sharika Bowler.
For sure.
Absolutely. Dr. Crutcher.
I just want to say, my prayers. Oh my goodness, that you all know that we had a trial against Betty Shelby, and we've been waiting for 4 years for the civil trial to ramp up. We filed January 2019. And finally, that trial is getting ready to move. And so we're getting ready to go into depositions. And so the killing of my twin brother, hopefully we will get some measure of justice. Of course, we can never bring him back. And, there's already a lot of things that's going on. We had to file a motion to reconsider because they granted the city's motion to dismiss to
Some
get them out of
stuff.
And so of course, this new judge that just jumped on the case, and in 2 weeks he just started granting motions. And so again, that notion of always having to fight, knowing that we saw it on video, knowing that the city is responsible for everything that happens with these officers, knowing that witnesses were turned away. Just know that we're getting ready to ramp back up, and that's going to be my priority. Making sure that I do this for my mom who went to her grave fighting for Terrence, making sure that I do it for my father and for his kids. And it's going to get ugly. So I just solicit the prayers of the community. But we're getting ready to go into depositions, and hopefully we can share some of the things that wasn't shared during the criminal trial.
Yes.
In this civil case, we have attorney Demario Solomon Simmons, who's the lead attorney, Benjamin Crump, attorney Daryl Parks, David Riggs, and a huge team where we hope we won't just get justice for Terrence, but for this community.
Right.
Because the vicarious trauma is real. And if I didn't believe that this was unjust, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Right.
And the sacrifices that we've made to stand on the front lines to ensure that this doesn't happen to anybody else, you can just see us. I mean, we're here.
Right.
And so just know that's going to be huge. And, pray for the kids because they're older and they're going to have to deal with the ugliness of the media and their dad being put on trial, who's vilified, and all of the bad and the ugly things. And so, but I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
And we've been with you from the beginning. We with you now.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's going to be emotional. It's going to be traumatized. It's going to be all of that. But we're going to get through it together. We've been getting through it together to this point.
Right.
But like you said, it's going to ramp up. It's another level coming. So you're just letting people know, hey, it's going up to that level
we
now.
Need your prayers. We need your prayers and your support.
Let's pray. Let's support. Let's be there.
Yes.
All right, y'all. We got to get out of here. With that being said, I hear that music playing. Please consider donating to Eating Media Services to help our community radio continue to stay on the air. You can send that donation made payable to Eating Media Services 21216 North Lansing Avenue. Sweet D, we moving on up, y'all. Tulsa, Oklahoma 74106. This has been News You Can Use with your boy Charles Hopper. That's me.
And Damali Wilson. That's me.
Thank you to all of our live listeners. We are live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. right here on KBOB 89.9 FM.
This has been a special edition of News You Can Use, Black in America, the good, the bad, the ugly, with special guest hosts Vanessa Hall Harper and Tiffany Crutcher, alongside Charles and Damari. Views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this program belong solely to the host and their guests, and not necessarily to this station, organization, committee, or group, or individuals associated with KBOB 89.9 and Eden Media Services. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you next week. Be safe.
Later.